All right, we're continuing our series here on factoring, and in this one, we're talking all about factor by grouping. All right, this is specifically when there are four terms when it comes to the factors that you're given, or the polynomials that you're given here. And one thing that you want to make sure of before you start is that your factors are written in the right order. Notice my exponents, right? They should start with the biggest one, like here goes 3, and then works its way down to the smallest one in descending order. So 3, 2, 1. Then none. 3, 2, 1, none. This one also 3, 2, 1, none. And as long as it looks like that, you should be good to go when it comes to this factoring. All right, now factor by grouping. What do? So if it's written in this order, we want to group, I should say, the first two and the last two terms. And when I do that, I just want to take out a GCF, the biggest common factor that I have out of those two groups. In this first group, we have a 3 and a 12 for my coefficients. So I can take a 3 out of that. 3 goes into both 3 and 12. And then for the x's, think this is kind of like 3 x's and that's 2 x's. The most x's I can take out is going to be 2 from both without going over. So I'm going to say 3x squared. Okay, left over, when I do that, what is 3x to the third divided by 3x squared? That's just going to be x, all right? And then over here, negative 12x squared divided by 3x squared is going to be a negative 4. The one thing that's nice about factoring by grouping is if you do it right, whatever you take out of the second group should leave you with a leftover part that is the exact same. If it's not, you did it wrong, all right? So it's kind of a way to check yourself in the middle of the problem. So what can I take out of this group to leave me with x minus 4? I think I'm going to take out a negative 10. All right, let's try this. Negative 10x divided by negative 10. Well, negative divided by negative is a positive, and the only thing that's left here is the x. Similarly, 40 divided by negative 10 is going to be a negative 4. So do I have the same leftover part? Yes, I do, and therefore I did this correct. Now, how do I write my answer? I'm going to write, I'll use a little colored coding to help us. I'm going to write the outside parts together, and I'm going to say this is 3x squared minus 10. Hopefully this shows up okay, it's kind of thin. 3x squared minus 10, and then just one of the inside parts, x minus 4, just like that. So all together, this 3x squared minus 10, the x minus 4, that is going to be your answer to this factor problem. Okay, let's try this one. We'll do this one a little bit faster. However, one thing I am noticing with all these, 16, negative 4, 40, and negative 10, excuse me, is that they are all divisible by 2. There's a GCF. Remember, when we factor, we want to take out all of our GCFs first, if possible. So I'm going to divide all of this by 2. And when I divide by 2, I'm left with 8x to the third minus, and this is going to be 2x squared plus 20x and then minus 5. Now, one thing you might want to do here is throw this in parentheses, and just that 2 that we took out, you can put it out front. I'll do that in black. Okay, then the rest of this I can factor by grouping just like I did in the previous problem. So we're going to group together the first two and the last two terms of just that pink part. All right, this 2 actually going to save for later, and that'll be my kind of the GCF out in front, or the common factor of all of it. And so here, what can I take out of 8x to the third and 2x squared? I think a 2x squared. And when I do that, 8 divided by 2 is 4. And x to the third divided by x squared is just x. And then negative 2x squared divided by positive 2x squared is just going to be a negative 1. Kind of think if I were to distribute this back in, 2x squared times what gives me negative 2x squared? Well, 2x squared times negative 1 does. All right, now, just like the previous one, I need something when I take it out to leave me with 4x minus 1. And what can I divide by to do that? Well, 20 divided by what is 4? 5. And similarly, negative 5 divided by negative 1 is also 5. So I'm going to take out a 5. It's a positive 5 here. And when I do this, left over, I'm going to have the 2x squared plus 5. That's kind of my outside part, so I'll use some underlines to help us, and the squiggly underline. The 4x minus 1, like that, came from right there. And then don't forget, you also had a 2 as part of your answer out in front, which came from our GCF at the very beginning. So all of that together is your answer to this factor by grouping problem. Hey, as always, if you need more factoring help, you can check out this video right here. And until next time, keep doing your math homework fast and accurately.